Is this the start of the end of DoorDash? Before I begin, no, I do not think DoorDash is closing its doors tomorrow. But the breaking news is they went on a $5 billion shopping spree. But why? It could come across that they are trying to dominate the world, or at least the food delivery space, but I'm not buying it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. Today, we will go over all the latest details of their purchases. Are these big DoorDash purchases a sign of something else? Why I think this could be the start of the end? And how does this big shopping spree affect drivers? Okay, so let's go over all these details so you know exactly what's going on with DoorDash and you're up to speed. So DoorDash announced a couple weeks ago that they were in talks of buying Deliveroo over in the UK. At least I thought they were only in the UK, and then when I read all about it, they gave a lot more countries, and they have a bigger reach than I actually thought. So they are in countries such as Belgium, France, Italy, Ireland, Kuwait, Qatar, Singapore, United Kingdom. They are trying to acquire Deliveroo for $3.9 billion for a company that doesn't operate in the United States. If this acquisition goes through, DoorDash will now be in 40 countries, hence world dominance, I'm telling you. When you compare it to Uber Eats, I did a little investigation. Uber Eats right now is in 45 countries, but DoorDash still dominates the market space. Just to give you how much they can gain from this, Deliveroo in 2024, they served 7 million customers daily. So add that into DoorDash's revenue. Okay, so fast forward to today. Well, they are now buying a restaurant booking platform called 7 Rooms for, ready for this, $1.2 billion. So over a week span, they just spent over $5 billion. That's a lot of dough. So those of you who don't know what 7 Rooms are, because I didn't know, they are a customer relations marketing, and they are an operations platform for restaurants. So this acquisition more benefits the restaurant side of DoorDash. According to Tony Xu, this is his exact quotes of what's going on. He says, "Together, we will work to deliver the best experience for all of our stakeholders, to grow the GDP of cities around the world, and to build a leading global platform for local commerce." It seems like a lot of words, don't you think? What do you think of DoorDash potentially spending over $5 billion in less than a month's time? Go ahead, let me know. So are these big billion-dollar purchases, are they a sign of something else, or could this really be the start to the end of DoorDash? Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts on this and why this is what my thinking is going towards. If you really think about it, DoorDash has been fighting legislation for a while now, right? But they've lost legislation in cities such as Seattle, New York City, California has Prop 22, and other states and cities are trying to pass similar stuff going on, including my own state. Can DoorDash really afford to pay drivers an hourly wage if it really comes to it? Every driver? Probably not. That's a huge payroll expense for any company, especially ones that have millions of drivers. On top of that, we are only seeing the start of multi-million-dollar lawsuits. Yes, we can say that it's a drop in a bucket for DoorDash. Yeah, that's 22 million, especially when they're buying billions of dollars of companies. If every state started to sue DoorDash for lost wages or missing tips, 50 states times millions and millions of dollars equals billions at some point, right? Not only that, and if they probably already are, we don't know the inner workings of what goes behind the scenes, but I would probably have to guess that there's some kind of investigation going on against DoorDash. Just my thoughts. Just based off of everything that has been going on lately with this company. We all say, as drivers, they're shady as all heck. Heck, maybe someone else has noticed the same exact thing. But is this the end? Meaning, are they preempting the future of DoorDash, right? So say something goes sideways in the United States and DoorDash ceases to exist. This is all hypothetical, by the way. So DoorDash ceases to exist in the United States because they can't afford to pay its drivers any longer. Okay, well, DoorDash, no big deal. I have 40-something other countries, well, probably 39 other countries, because United States. I have 39 other countries that I'm currently operating in. Do I really need the United States business? Hence the world dominance. It's like a full circle, right? It's a full world circle if you really think about it. So that was my really line of thinking. Are they preempting the future of DoorDash? Is purchasing Deliveroo a fallback on income that they can rely on in case something goes sideways over here? I don't know. I could be completely off base on this, but that was my thinking when I was reading about all these acquisitions. Yes, this latest one was 1.2 billion, I think I said. And it's not another company that they can dominate, but they can use it towards their benefits and the systems they use for restaurants to get more restaurants onto the platform as well. And not just here, they can do it globally. So that is what I was thinking. Let me know. Do you think I am onto something? Do you think that DoorDash is trying to predict the future and is using this as a fallback plan? So now that we got the technical stuff out of the way, how does this affect you as a driver, right? This is a pretty big thing for DoorDash to be doing. It's in the news, right? They just announced it and they lost. I didn't even talk about this before, but man, they're losing money in the stock market just because of this. And they also announced a loss in their earnings. So honestly, as a driver, should you be concerned? Not immediately, but honestly, you should be pissed. I'm pissed. You want to know why? Well, here's the reason why. They just spent all this money, and we get $2 per order in order to deliver their food. Without drivers, would DoorDash exist today? Probably not. So they would rather invest, and I get it. They're trying to expand like every company should. But from a driver's perspective, we can't even get a decent base pay, and you're acquiring other companies that don't even have to do with us drivers in this United States. Or Canada, if you're tuning in from Canada. I don't understand how a company can care so less about the people who keep it running and keep making them money in order to acquire these other companies within their realm. It goes to really show you how much emphasis or how much they really care about their drivers. At least in my opinion. At least that's what I thought when I was reading all this stuff happening with DoorDash. I was honestly, I'm like, really? That was my first reaction. You take money away from drivers. What was it, a year ago? We all lost money on our base pay. Did you guys know, did DoorDash know about these possible acquisitions back then? And that's the reason why they even took money away from drivers? We don't know the inner workings, so it's all guessing at this point. But all I know is we keep losing money. We keep losing orders because order volume isn't even close to where it is. We don't have enough orders to go around to all these oversaturation of drivers. And here DoorDash is taking money and spending it on other companies to purchase them for their own gain. I have a problem with that. I'm not gonna lie. I have a big problem with that. On top of that, are they really spending money like they said to solve a lot of the problems that are on their platform before they expand somewhere else? Are they dealing with the oversaturation problems? Are they really dealing with the illegal accounts, the shared accounts, the bot accounts, all the problems that currently exist? Or does it look like they really just don't care because they only are really caring about spending money in order to dominate more of the market space and more of the food delivery space in the entire world? Let me know, how do you feel about DoorDash spending $5 billion when we get $2 on an average as a base pay per order? Yeah, doesn't sit well with me. I don't know about you. You know, there are many things that we tell ourselves about DoorDash, and we lie to ourselves as Dashers all the time. Well, there are 3 lies in particular, and you're going to want to check this video out next.